Welcome back to another video. My name's Carl Gosling and today we're going to be taking a quick look at another one of Sim Racing Studio's excellent products. Today it's the Sim Racing Studio Powerwind Double the Fan Wind Simulator package. Now I'll very briefly explain what a wind simulator is. It doesn't really simulate wind, but it blows wind at you based on the speed that your vehicle is doing. So the faster your vehicle's moving, the greater the wind flow, and the slower the vehicle's going, the more it will slow back down to a complete stop when you're stationary. Now, lots of people argue within the groups about how realistic this is. It isn't supposed to be realistic. No one drives with their head out the window, you know, in real life. Everyone's got windscreens that prevent the wind from hitting you. And if you're in an open cockpit vehicle, then you'll have a crash helmet on and gloves and a suit. So you're not going to feel the wind like you do with one of these setups anyway. But that isn't the purpose of it. It's not trying to replicate real life conditions. All its purpose is to give you an additional form of physical feedback about what the car is doing. In this case, it's speed, and with the wind curving feature from Sim Racing Studio, your direction too, and I'll explain how that works a bit later. But yeah, let's get that clear. It's not a simulation of something that happens in real life, because this doesn't happen in real life. It's not trying to do that. Let's just be clear. It's just an additional form of physical feedback, a bit like vibrations through your steering wheel base. You know, those vibrations are there to just add to the experience, and that's what, you know, wind simulator products are all about. So let's just be clear with that. Anyway, I'll very quickly show you what we've got here, what comes with the kit. Now there's two kits they do. There's a 2019 version and a 2020 version. The 2019 version is what I've got here, and that's on sale right now, I believe, for $189. And the 2020 version, I believe, is $240, $249. They perform physically both the same. They both do the same job. But the 2020 version has got improved aesthetics. So rather than stickers, there's embossed Sim Racing Studios logos and writing and things like this. Just a more aesthetically pleasing product. But you can buy either, depending on your budget. So take a look on their website and see whichever one you fancy. But they both perform the same. But the one I've got here is a 2019 version. In fact, I'll put some pictures up now, just showing you what the 2020 version looks like, so you can see both of them. And obviously, if you fancy one, you can choose whichever one you like. So yeah, that's what the 2020 one looks like. So what I've got here is a 2019 version. We've got a little IntelliBox, Sim Racing Studio sticker on the top. And we've got your two fan outputs here and here, a tacho output and an auxiliary output. So you can plug in your two fans, your left and your right, and you can also run a couple of other bits and pieces from Sim Racing Studio as well. The main and most important part of this, of course, is the fans. We've got two of these, as you can see here. And again, Sim Racing Studio logo on the bottom there. This is your little interface. We've got your data or fan speed plug on the back and a power plug. Comes with a standard GoPro mount and a 3M adhesive pad. So what you would do is, if your wheel deck has got enough space either side of the wheel base, you could use these 3M pads and stick one here and one here, and they'd obviously then be blowing exactly where you need them to. They also come with pre-installed air straighteners, and that's air straighteners, not hair straighteners for the ladies out there. These aren't made by GHD, just to be clear. And what they do is they increase the air velocity, the speed of the air, by straightening it. Fan spins, obviously, like this. And so the wind coming out will be spinning also. The fins inside the air straightener here that you can see stops that from happening and directs and focuses the air as it's coming out. So that really bumps up the speed of the air coming out and the intensity with which you feel. So it's good to see these come pre-installed. I think some other ones, they were optional, not from Sim Racing Studio, from other manufacturers optional. So it's good to see that these come with those out the box. So yeah, 3M pad to stick it down. We're not actually using the 3M pads on my setup here, because we're going to be using a Playseat Challenge, which is like my little test rig. And I've bought some handlebar mounts that go onto the Playseat Challenge, because the wheel deck isn't wide enough to stick it onto. And so I'll just unscrew this here, and I'll use the GoPro handlebar mount and screw that straight on. I'll show you that in the next segment. But yeah, fan, and the other fan, then we've got a 12 volt 10 amp power supply. Standard kettle lead goes in the bottom there, barrel plug on the other end. And then aside from that, there's just a mini USB to USB-A to go into your PC and into your little control box. And then we have a 4-way splitter cable for the 12-volt power supply. So your barrel plug goes into here, and then you've got 4 other barrel plug outputs. We're only going to be using 2 today because we've only got 2 fans, so we'll be using those 2 there. The other 2 can run other products, obviously, from Sim Racing Studio as well. So that's everything you get in the box. I've explained what wind simulation or power wind does and why you might want it. And again, just to be clear, to stop all the arguments, it's not trying to simulate real life. It's just giving you an additional form of physical feedback about what your vehicle is doing. So let's not have any petty arguments in the comments, please, boys and girls. So yeah, that's everything we get. That's what it does. That's how it works. Let's get it installed on the Playseat. And then after that, we'll go for a little drive and I'll talk you through what I'm feeling and how it's working. Right, so let's get these installed on my Playseat. I've already put the little handlebar mount brackets on here. There's literally just 2 thumb screws at the back here and it clamps around there. There'll be links to those in the description. In fact, there'll be links to Playseat Challenge should you want one of those, and the G29 or G920 setup that we have here as well. They'll all be in the description. Should you want any of these, feel free to click through and have a look. It will help support the channel if you do. So yeah, they'll be there. That's already installed there. So all we do now in this application, like I say, because we're not using the 3 pads because there's no additional space here beside my steering wheel. So we'll just unscrew this here. Really, really easy. Pop your adhesive one off and then slot this into the handlebar mount. It rotates round and points exactly where you want it to. Put it through and just screw it up like that. Now that really is as easy as it gets. We'll do the one on the other side as well. Where's the other fan? Here's the other fan. I've already taken the adhesive one off. So again, we'll just poke this. Let me just move around here. We'll just put it on, screw it in. Now again, you guys might not be doing this because you might well be using the 3 pads, but for me, this is the easiest way to put it onto a Playseat Challenge. So you angle them where you want them. Let's just nip that up. That feels a little bit loose. Oh yeah. Nip that up there, nip that up there, and nip that one up there. So they're both installed. Let me spin it round so you can see it a bit easier. Is that going to be in shot? Yeah, just about. So yeah, just lift it up a touch. You can see we've got our 2 fans installed. Really easy. It took what, a couple of minutes to do, and be even faster if you didn't use handlebar mounts and just use the 3 pads. So that's really quick and really easy, which is great. And so then the next step, the next thing we have to do is grab the rest of the accessories. So we need our power supply. Now, this end's obviously going to go into the wall. I don't need to show you how to do that. The other end here goes into our 4-way splitter like this, and we're going to plug one into there, and of course this one can go around here. This is my semi-neat cable management on the fly type scenario. So yeah, one in there. Obviously, if you were fitting this permanently, you'll then do this all neatly around the edges here. But yeah, plug them 2 in. That's great. What else am I missing? Oh yeah, I need the data cables. So here's our little control box. Now, we just plug the USB cable into the back here, into the mini USB slot. And then the other end obviously will go into your computer. I'm sure I don't need to show you that. Let me just grab the data cable as I left that over here. Right, sorry about that. So yeah, these cables I really like. They're flat rather than round, and I quite like that. I think that's going to be really nice from a sort of cable management point of view. It's going to look really nice and flush when you install them. So we get one end and we plug it into there like that, and then the other end simply goes into your left or right outputs on your IntelliBox. Now, that is the left-hand fan from the driver's seat position. So we go into the left-hand side. This one over here is your right-hand fan. Again, let's just run this around here, kind of semi-neatly for now. And so this one will go into the wind right output. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is literally it as far as the installation process goes. It couldn't be any simpler, really, could it? You know, handlebar mounts if you're using a Playseat Challenge, 3M pads if you're not, power and data, data into the IntelliBox, power into your splitter, and then into the mains. So, yeah, that's it, we're installed. So now let's get this over there in front of the big screen, and we'll do a little test drive, probably in Dirt Rally, as that's always my sim of choice, and we'll see just how these babies perform. Right, let's get a little test drive under the way. The fans are installed and they're pointing roughly where I want them to point at me. Now, as far as the software side of things goes, I'm going to do a tuning and setup video next week to show you how to fine tune this and what all the options do. But I'll just say that there's no drivers to install. If you've already got Sim Racing Studio software installed, maybe you've got some of their other products, you literally just plug it in, it recognises it straight away, and you're pretty much good to go. But there are a few settings you can play with, and I'll take you through those next week. Now, if the fans get a bit noisy, I might have to voice over this segment because the microphone's here, they're going to be blowing straight at it. Hopefully it won't be too bad and you can hear me. Also, my cat loves fans for some reason. I'm quite glad we got these grills on the back because she'll be round the back here trying to get her mitts in there whilst I'm racing, I'm sure. So if I have to throw a cat out of the way halfway through the video, that's just the way it's got to be because she likes them. Anyway, we're here in Dirt Rally. I'll just start the screen capture software now. Yeah, that's that done. We're in Spain because there's some relatively good straights on this particular stage. And there we go. So as soon as I pull off, the fans kick off straight away at a low speed because I'm currently doing a low speed. As I come into this first left-hand corner here, slows down again as I've braked. As I accelerate, it goes up, back down again for this one. So this is how these fans operate. Again, here, I'm braking into the corner, the fan speed slows down and then it picks up as I accelerate again. When we get out onto a straight, you'll probably hear just how much they pick up. Now, the other thing that Sim Racing Studio's Power Wind setup does is it has something called wind curving. So you can hear they're getting louder here as I'm really opening her up for that semi-straight section there. Now, anyway, yeah, back to wind curving. Wind curving works by slowing the speed of the fan that is on the side of the corner you are going round. So if you go in the left-hand corner, left-hand fan slows down because that's like if you think about the angle of a corner, you're in the tighter part of it on the left-hand side. If you're going left, and on the right-hand side, you'll be in the tighter part of the corner on the right. So the respective fan slows down accordingly. And what this does is it gives you a subtle feeling of direction change as you're driving. And I really like this feature. I've got another wind set up on my main rig. It doesn't have this feature. And I wish it did because I really do like this feature. Like I say, it's subtle, but again, like with a lot of these sort of tactile feedback type options for sim racing, once your brain tunes into it, you almost can't be without it. It's almost, if you go back to not having the wind curving, you feel like you're missing out on something. So I really like that feature. That's a great feature. Along with the whole wind simulation itself, you know, that feeling of as you accelerate, up to speed, the wind getting stronger and stronger and stronger, it almost intensifies the whole experience. And I really, really like it, which is why I say I've already got it on my main rig. But I do wish I had the wind curving, so these may well end up on my main rig in place of the fans that I've already got on there. Now, performance-wise, airflow-wise, these flow probably similarly, if not a little more aggressive than the setup I already have, and that is shed loads of flow, like way more than you need. It gives a really good feeling of motion, a good feeling of speed. And as I said in the beginning, it's not about replicating real life, because in real life we're not driving with our head out the window. It's about giving, let me just turn the screen capture off. It's about giving us another form of physical feedback as to what our car's doing. You know, in this case, how fast we're traveling based on how much airflow we feel going past us, and in which direction we're traveling or cornering based on, again, a drop in airflow from whichever side it is you're cornering on. So I think this whole setup is great. The plug and play nature of it all is absolutely brilliant. As you saw in the previous segment, it all just plugs in. You either stick them down, or in this case, you clamp them on. It couldn't be any easier, really. And you know, much like the previous sim racing product, my cat's now chewing the wires. Ori, get off the wires. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, much like I said about the previous sim racing studio product that I reviewed, the shake kit, again, that was all plug and play, and that also worked really well. So, you know, so far so good with this stuff. I've got no complaints whatsoever. And I definitely recommend wind simulation if you don't have it, whether it's from Sim Racing Studio or maybe you do it, you know, another way. It's entirely up to you, but I definitely recommend it. And if it's a plug and play option you're after, this is the only one on the market, as far as I'm aware, that's plug and play. So go grab one. But yeah, what else can we say, really? That's, you know, as I say, there'll be links in the description to these little handlebar mounts if you need them. If you've got a Playseat Challenge, there'll be links to Playseat Challenge, there'll be links to G920. There'll be a link to Sim Racing Studio website, which is where you need to buy these from. I can't do affiliate link for that because they don't have an eBay shop. But talking about affiliate links and supporting my channel, I am a new channel. So if you do like these sort of reviews, the VR related stuff that I'm doing as well, even a bit of retro stuff, then a like and a subscription would be great. And if you really want to support the channel, I'm really hoping to get things moving this year. So I want to upgrade from a camera phone to a decent camera. There is a donation link in the description. If you want to throw us £1 or $1, if you can spare it, that would be very much appreciated. Of course, don't, you know, feel like you have to. I am a new channel, I know that, and it is early days, but every little helps. So if you can throw £1 in the pot, that would be much appreciated. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. A big thanks to Sim Racing Studio for providing me with this equipment, you know, free of charge for review. A big shout out to them for that. And I'll see you guys all in the next video when I show you how to set up and tune the software. Take it easy. Have a good day.